Okay.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Julia Mann and I show men and women how they can lead healthy, happy, sustainable lives. And I'm really delighted because today I'm joined by Aneta Chencinski. I hope I pronounced that right, Aneta.
Perfect.
So for those of you that don't yet know Aneta, she works as a psychotherapist and a life coach. So I know that actually you live in Canada now, don't you?
Yes.
But you weren't born there. So how about you tell us about your roots?
So I was born in Poland and lived there, finished high school there, and then we emigrated to Israel. Like absolutely different culture, different language. You know that in Hebrew you write from different direction as right, left to right. So it was quite an adjustment, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun because in order to learn language, we went to school with all the other students, not with parents. I finished university there, where what I started as a chemist because it was really interesting. So, and worked there many years in water desalination. I did have my teacher's degree, so some background in psychology and how to interact with people, in addition to the chemistry. And then we emigrated to Canada 25 years ago. But the accent is, I'm not going to lose it, so it's here for kids. I work here as a chemist and then continue as a teacher and decided that psychotherapy is really the route and coaching that I want to take. So more schooling, more practice, and it rolled, and now I'm working full-time in helping people to reach their goals and to go where they want to go. Wonderful. And to be happy.
Perfect. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I absolutely love your accent, Aneta, so don't ever lose it. But when you moved initially to Israel, what sort of age were you? And was it an exciting thing? Or was it a little bit scary?
I was 18 and actually it didn't really matter because we did not have a choice. That was time that moving for Jews, moving from Poland out, it was forceful invitation, so we had to move. And my mom family, the people that survived the Holocaust, everybody was in Israel, so we did not come to the country not knowing anybody. We had really good connections there, and my sister was there as well. So we came, if you can say it, home. Was it difficult? It was very difficult. It was difficult with language. It was difficult making friends. There was time that everybody went to the army, my age. So a year later or 2 years later, that was the main topic, which I had no clue about. Not knowing language, I couldn't go to the army. So it was difficult. But
and I guess actually not really having a choice to move there in the first place, coming from the terrible, terrible situation that you were leaving, just I imagine for your parents to not have the choice and have to move on must have been a very harrowing thing.
It took time. It took time until we were allowed to move. So they were more than ready. But yes, it was difficult. They were in their 60s and that was not fun. At the beginning, it was fun to be with the family. It was pleasure, but it was difficult.
Yes. So I know that you help families and individuals to live a life that they desire, don't you? Did your parents teach you to live a life you desired? Is that where it came from?
No, my parents were Holocaust survivors, so there was not so much and different generation talking about enjoying life. It was more for them surviving. They did not talk about their experience at all. They did not share this part. No, it was not much about enjoying life. Yes, going forward. Yes, doesn't matter what happened before. But I don't think so. My desire came from my personal unhappiness when I moved to Canada and forcefully left everything behind. I mean, it was a choice, of course, but I didn't realize that there is such a huge price to pay of leaving support system, leaving people that you love, leaving people that are important to you, and connection that you built all your life, and suddenly finding myself in the country that I didn't know anybody. I did know the language. I understood and I could talk and I read, but it was definitely difficult. So in order to take myself out of the misery, which I was really miserable at the beginning, and still I have 3 kids and family, so I started to more looking for ways to help myself, and it just evolved.
So would you say that that was the most challenging thing that you've ever had to deal with, Aneta, just that move and the isolation? And
Definitely. And you know what's difficult, and we quite often do it as individuals. It was my decision. There was nobody else to blame. Nobody. I agreed. I want it. I love traveling. So for me, it was okay. We go. If it doesn't work, we come back. You can't really do it when you have family, and it's too much economically, monetary, emotionally for everybody. So yeah, I did it actually for myself.
So how did you overcome it once you'd kind of taken responsibility for your decision? How did you overcome it?
I did go to therapy. I did go to the therapy and I tried different people. And then I remember it was really traumatic. I found myself in the office of psychologist. The lady was sitting on the couch and crying, and I was pacing the office, and I realized that I'm actually intimidating her. It's like, oh, that's not working well. So I sit down and finish. That was my last visit to this psychologist. And then I realized that in order to recover, I need more. Not so much that I need to know more, but I need more knowledgeable people and more therapy than once per week or once every 2 weeks meeting. And then when I decided to go and study, because during the studies you have a lot of interaction and you go through a lot of therapy, a lot of talking, a lot of therapy, a lot of healing, which was helpful.
So some people watching, Aneta, might not know what psychotherapy actually is. So can you actually explain what it is and tell us why in the end you decided that that was the route for you?
So route for me, actually, let me start from the back, is psychotherapy and coaching. And in my eyes, it is really intertwined. So the way that psychotherapy works is that I work with psychotherapy, maybe that's the better wording, is looking what people get stuck, what makes them, keeps them in the spot that they don't really want to be, but they are not able to move forward. That psychotherapy comes in to resolve these chains, these beliefs. And so what's happening that we grow during childhood, we see something, and that's not so much the facts, but what we make from it. Our vision that we make from it, the meaning that we give to the facts, that's what is really emotionally impactful. That's what keeps us where we are. So in psychotherapy, we go and find the meaning. I go and find the meaning and help people with questions, by proper question, to see the possibility, the facts. We can change fact from different angle. So give different meaning to what happened, to the facts. And when the meaning is different and people see it differently, they are able to move forward. So that's the part of psychotherapy. Part of coaching that most of the time we are starting with where you are and where do you want to go. So we start to see once more with questions and with really good listening, like really intense listening to the clients, to find out where do they want to go and what stops them. And then going back to psychotherapy and resolving the limiting beliefs, resolving something that they even didn't know that kept them there. I think what's really rewarding there are 2 really important things. I believe that whatever we find in us is really only good things, only positive things. And that needs to be gentleness in the process, because whatever we find help to keep us alive or happy or surviving, whatever it is. So we have no right to toss it away like you stopped me. It was helpful. And for now, we can thank whichever part helped us to survive and just move forward, release what we don't need. And what is really, really beautiful is that I found in myself different stops and different things that I didn't realize. So I question myself all the time. Why can't I do this? Why is this one not working? What is keeping me unhappy right now? And discovering all these things and changing, it's really exciting. Really,
Totally,
really.
yeah. I love what you said, Aneta, about the fact that we add meaning to everything and that we can change that meaning. And that, of course, means that we can make it mean there are a million different options of ways we could choose to see it, you know, and actually creating a different story is what can create a different life. So I love that you said that. So if there's someone listening right now, Aneta, who's feeling a bit stuck, like you mentioned, feeling a bit unhappy with their current circumstances, what advice would you give them?
So I think that now more than ever, people are seeking. And the reason that they're thinking that we are less busy, like with physical stuff around, just because of pandemic, we couldn't travel, we couldn't move, we didn't meet people. And so our brain work, we start to think, so what now? It's like, that's my existence, that's my life, what do I want to do? Which is really amazing. And I think that it is important to explore, because we can find much more than we are human beings, we're not human doing. And we do. It's like people say, I had such an interesting life before. And then when the opera and meetings and traveling are stripped, that who are you? Who do you want to be as a human being? And that's hard work, but it is so rewarding.
So rewarding, absolutely. So you talked about the fact that you really love to learn and grow. What would you say is the biggest lesson you've ever learned?
So start with the simpler one, that since, like you said before, we are building stories on the facts. We are building stories. So why not build something that really elevates us, that brings us joy? We are making meanings. The meanings don't exist until we make them. So how about learning to make really beautiful meanings that can make us happy? So I think that the really most important part is that quoting, like, if you believe that you can, you can, and if you believe that you can't, you can't. So everything is in our power. And when we see speakers that have no hands or no legs, so like how, and they really believe and say we have full life. And it's difficult to believe that that's true. Whatever our brain tells us, mind, wherever we go with our mind, that's what we can get. So let's use it.
Absolutely, yeah. What we think about, we bring about. And I really love that quote. That's a Henry Ford quote, isn't it? And it's totally, totally true. And I think, I think that although, like you say, doing the work, or in the way discovering who we are, is challenging, absolutely. And it's so worth it. So why, survive through life when you can actually choose to thrive and look at things differently? So what do you do when you're not working?
I travel. I love traveling. I read. We had dogs till now. Now they are gone to different pastures, but we have 2 German Shepherds. I love animals. I love being with people. I don't watch TV, very seldom, and sometimes like, how do I turn it off? What do I see there? But traveling, exercising, cycling, movement. I really need my body to move. I can't sit still too long. It's not only boring, it's like something keeps me. I swim 3 times a week. So now we swam in Lake Ontario with wetsuit, like that's quite cool. And we started once more in a swimming pool because they opened. So
lovely. And also when we're feeling emotional, actually moving can really shift some of those emotions, can't it? So why would you say, Aneta, that you're the person to work with?
There are a few things. I'm working quite often and asking questions on the hunch, and I really listen good. I'm really good listener. So I listen to not only to the words, but to the emotion, what's under, and what really is pulling people's strings, because we all have strings. And the results are, there is no judgment. I lost the judgment. It was so good not to judge, not people, not others. It was so liberating. And real need to help and to support people in their journey. So everybody goes where they need to go, but the safety net is there. Having a safety net, and I'm definitely safety net for people, and asking questions to help them to reach the goal that they have, I can do it.
Fantastic. Of all the things you've ever done, of which there are many, what are you most proud of?
Actually, what I'm really happy is and proud of my travels. I love traveling and what's go there. So going to Africa, I will tell you what I'm, and meeting with like 7 rhinoceros by mistake, of course, and 3 of them just came so close, like 3-4 meters, and we had nothing by stupidity, not by choice. So the only thing that we had was water bottle, and I was with my cousin, and they came so close. And then we just started to make noise. And since it was different noise and different scent, they move away. But so it stays, it's not that I'm proud, but it's really the experience that you have this huge animal, like 3 meters from you, like, you can't forget it. I really, I will tell you what I'm proud. When I finished my postgrad and I got from my kids the car plate, it is YCDA, which means you can do anything. It's like, if my kids think it, I can do it. So
you've done a good job, clearly. Amazing what you said about the rhinos, because they are absolutely huge. And I took my daughter Katie for her 16th birthday. I took her on safari, and we had a close encounter with a rhino. The rhino ran into the vehicle that was being driven, open-sided vehicle, and that was a really scary experience. And also we came across some elephants as well. And if it wasn't for the person that was very experienced driving the vehicle, the elephant was about to charge on us, but he knew to reverse, as you know, and thank goodness that didn't happen. But you know, it can happen in an instant, can't it? So glad you survived that. One last question.
Yes, go for it.
When you are no longer on this planet, how would you like to be remembered?
I think compassionate, smart in the way that I can help people. Not smart, yeah, she was so intelligent. That's emotionally smart. And I think that you said what I'm proud of, and I'm going there. Not so long ago, my youngest son, he's 33, so not so young anymore, but was explaining what he learned. He was thinking, what did he learn from his dad, his siblings, and me? And he said, from me, he learns how to be a human being. It's like, oh my God, I don't need anything else.
Oh my God.
Yes. So I think that's, yeah, it didn't come when you said what I'm proud of, but it is such a gift. And my kids giving me this type of gifts, like all the time, that suddenly, like, really, that's how you see me? That's so important. I really don't need anything else.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. What can I say? Aneta Chencinski. Thank you so much. Got it right, yes. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Beautiful. You are very welcome. I enjoy it enormously. And you helped me to bring actually the memories that are stored somewhere there, and that I should put in the front of my mind just to brighten my day any day. You know, it's so important. Thank you so much. Thank you, Julie.